Hi there, my name's Demish. Welcome to guide number 1. I'm going to share my screen so you can see my outline that I'm going to be utilizing for this. There we go. I'm here up in the corner. All right, so guide 1, how I discovered the fairy tale, healed my chronic pain completely without Western medicine. So we've got mindset, mindfulness, and yoga. So let's get into it. Mindset is key. What you think about, you bring about. So if you're a negative Nelly and you think the world is against you and everything bad happens just to you and, oh, it's raining on my birthday, why does this always happen? Like, guess what? All of you see in the world and within you and what happens around you is negative, right? But if you're let's go with it, positive Polly, you see everything positive that's in the world, everything that's great about the world, everything that's great about the people that you're surrounded with, and everything great that happens to you in your world, right? That's what you notice. That's what you see. That's what the lens you are looking through shows you, right? You can change that. It doesn't always have to be that way. So maybe start to notice through the next one, reflecting on your thoughts and maybe what you tend to think about on a regular basis. See if there's any patterns, which the next one, journaling, see here, journaling can help you see those patterns. Now, when it comes to journaling, like you might have an actual journal, an actual book. You might have, let's see, what else do I got here? Like little scratch pieces of paper. I love these things. If you could see my desk right now, they're covered in them. Or you might have maybe a yellow notepad, like whatever it is, have a space where you can regularly sit down and write and just kind of unload your thoughts. They don't need to make any sense. You can just pick up a pen and start writing. Okay. I think there's a kind of magic and connection with your thoughts and your emotions when you actually sit there and write them down, like pen to paper versus sitting there and typing it out. I mean, to each their own, but to me, I prefer pen to paper, and that's what I recommend to all my clients. Versus just kind of sitting there and thinking about your thoughts, thinking the thoughts through, right? To me, just sitting there thinking it through doesn't go deep enough. You don't notice what's happening. You don't notice the words as they're coming out of your pen to go even deeper than that, right? And I don't really care if, let me give you an example here. I don't care if you're sitting there and like furiously scratching into your pen and paper, if you can read it. Like if that's what your journal looks like, fine. It's helping you move your thoughts, move the emotion and getting it out of your body, which is where a lot of this problem with chronic pain and chronic illness comes from. But if you're wanting to like look for patterns and understand your mind and your thoughts and your emotions a little bit more, maybe take some time to actually write it so it's legible. So that way you can go back and read it. But if not, if it's just like a moment where you're like, I got to get this out and I don't have anybody to talk to, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. That's fine. The point is to get it out of your body and out of your head. Okay, the next one, gratitude. So I have to be honest with you, I hate gratitude. When I first started them, I was mad about it. I thought it was like super basic. But it's very helpful because it helps, again, change that mindset, going from like that negative mindset to the positive mindset. Like gratitude helps it happen faster. So, and it doesn't have to be this big grand like gesture of like, oh my God, I'm so grateful I'm this human in this world and la 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 la. Like it could be, I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head today because it's rainy and cold outside and I have a safe, warm space to be in. It could be, I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. It could be, I'm grateful that there's money in my bank account because I was able to go get a cup of coffee because I woke up late this morning. It could be the most basic thing, but it helps you feel differently in your body and in your mind and ultimately in your soul, right? So gratitudes, mantras. So I'm not referring to like the Hindu type of mantra where you sit and chant like that type of Sanskrit word, not that type of mantra. Those work as well. But something that is like just a phrase or a word that you want to start to embody. So looking at it on a daily basis, ignore that in the corner. Looking at it on a daily basis, maybe multiple times a day. I remember there was a time when I was really wanting to understand and experience my intuition at a deeper level. And I had 3 whiteboards on my, not bathroom, bedroom wall. So every time I took a shower, I would stand in front of them as I was getting ready for my day and read them to myself and say them to myself. And then every time at night I was getting ready for bed and, putting on the jams and everything, changing, getting ready for bed, I would read them to myself again. So at least twice a day, I would see them and speak them to myself. And then like magic, suddenly I started to notice like things that I would see in my mind's eye that were already there. It was already happening. I started to notice or hear things that, oh, these were thoughts that were just very subtle and like below the surface, very like much more quiet than my regular ruminating thoughts, right? I began to notice that I would feel things a little more deeply, like other people's emotions or like the sadness in a movie. So mantras, whatever it is that you want to experience. Maybe it's, I want to feel more love. Okay, read that every day, once a day at least. Try it. Okay, moving on to number 2, mindfulness. I call this mindful awareness, right? Mindfulness, people talk about this all the time. And you might have heard this from me already. Like, I feel like it's just a big old buzzword. For me, this is what it's about. It's awareness. It's being in present moment, right? So all of the work that you start to do here in step number 1 helps us get there. It's a process. It takes time. So having some patience with yourself as well. Listening to your body, okay? When I work with clients, I like to work backwards. I don't think we can catch our thoughts. They go like a bazillion miles a minute, right? Especially if you have anxiety and rumination is like a thing for you. So starting to notice your body, this thing that we get to live in, this is our first home if you've never thought of it that way. It's giving you signals and clues and messages all day long. You're probably completely oblivious to it. I want you to start noticing what's happening, right? Maybe that gut feeling or that palpitation in your chest or those heavy shoulders or tension. That means something. Pay attention. Question it. What does this mean? What are you trying to tell me, body? Yes, ask that question and sit with it. The answer will come. Notice, feel, and move your emotions, right? We all have them. It's a thing. It's one of the most important ways that we experience this world. It's actually pretty beautiful. Our emotions serve us a purpose as well as the body, right? They have a message. There's a reason they're there. So just like, it's important for us to know why we're anxious or afraid of something. It's important for us to know like what jealousy means to us, what fear means to us, what anxiety and depression and even happiness, right? Why are you happy? Do more of those things, right? Then you'll feel less anxious and depressed and afraid. All the emotions serve a purpose. Are you even paying attention or are you just reacting? Most of us are doing that, right? And it's okay. We're never taught what to do with this kind of stuff. I'm going to teach you how to do that, right? And then with emotions, it's in the word, like emotion, move it, feel it, be with it. It's okay. And then lastly, catch those thoughts. Once you know what your body's doing, you understand your emotion, you can catch those thoughts that trigger all of that and send it downwards, right? Then number 3, step 3, yoga. Why yoga? Because you get to feel into your body. Like, it's a whole process. You are doing these poses and postures, but you're also working on being mindful while you're doing them, because maybe your body can't hold a pose this day like it did yesterday, or maybe you've just not been able to do a chair pose comfortably, or whatever it is. But feeling into your body. You don't have to be the most flexible person to do yoga. Like, that's not the point at all. The point is to be with your body and to learn about it every day and to push it just a little bit. Okay. And then once you have been doing it a little bit, doing it for a little bit, there we go. You might notice that you're putting mind and body and spirit together, right? Because you're utilizing your mind to figure out how to use this pose. You're noticing how your body is feeling in the pose and maybe have to adjust, right? And then that's all encompassing. It's all of the parts of the self coming together as one. It's actually pretty beautiful. So those are like the 3 key things that I remember utilizing and doing and practicing to get my body healed and more comfortable to be in, right? Now, we're going to go into depth into them, in other videos and in my program as well. But to answer your question, what's the fairy tale then, right? Because I said how I discovered the fairy tale of chronic pain and chronic illness. Fairy tale is that we're broken. We need to be fixed, right? We're victims. This just happens to us. And we have no control over what happens to our body. Wrong. I'm going to go into more detail on that in guide 2. And I'm going to unshare here. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, post them below. And if you would tag me so I can make sure that I see your comment. Thank you.